What's up, guys? I got a new project today. I'm working on a knife making angle grinder jig. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Alright, so check it out. I actually just ran this bevel right now. See if you can catch the glare off of that. That is a nice, sexy bevel on that thing. Well, that's my opinion. This is a 7-inch car polisher, ultra slow speed, 2300 RPM. I got it for free. Yeah, I don't expect everyone to run for this, but I've been using Harbor Freight tool magnets. I find these blades really stick well to this. After finding out that this was a standard 1/2 inch threaded hole for the handle, I got a chunk of all thread, standard piece of 3/4 inch pipe, standard base. I mean, this is all stuff I got. You could go to the hardware store. I made a clamping tube adjustment here. This can be completely made without having welding necessary. I welded a T-handle on just because I didn't want to have to go get wrenches. I found out that it is, in order to get the torque on this thing, you gotta force it a lot. But this is 1 inch and 1/16 diameter. So I drilled a 1 1/16 diameter hole I found a hole saw at work. Managed to do it. You could still drill a 1 inch hole and just ream it out and dress it out until it slips freely over there. Then I drilled a 3/8 hole through the tube, and then I slotted it. It just clamps on. So simple enough. I welded a nut on it. Again, you don't have to weld. You can just get 2 wrenches and torque the thing until you find your setting. Standard 3/8 eye bolt. Now, ultimately, you could go a little more high tech and put a Heim joint on this. Heim joint is that little swivel eye inside of basically an eye like this. But again, I was basing it off of cheap supplies, things I have. Again, I didn't know if this thing was going to work, but I'm excited. It works, and that's why I'm shooting this video. But in order to make up the difference, I actually wrapped my 1/2 inch rod through all thread with electrical tape until it fits snugly in here. I want this to be able to flex, but not jiggle. If this thing jiggles, that might be a degree that's going to throw me off. So you want that fairly firm, and I got no jiggle or wiggle in this whatsoever. Same thing with this. I double nutted that. Again, I wanted this to be able to tighten without overly tightening. We want this thing to pivot freely, full up and down, left to right, and my eye bolt is pivoting with me. I wanted to upgrade this by the Heim joint. But again, this is all stuff you guys could get yourselves from Home Depot. Now, I placed my rod center of my grinding bar. That way, I could actually grind both sides without an issue. For repetitive grinding, I basically need to place the next knife in exact same spot. Cool. That gives me a real rough bevel, but that works. Now, just for the heck of it, I figure I'd set up my next one. Just came out of the forge yesterday. Come on. You can see how good these magnets fight. These things are real good action. Okay, good. Approximately the same exact spot I had the last one. My knife is slightly moving on me. Alright, I didn't remove much, but again, this is for demonstration only. This one actually has been a hammered, forged blade, so you can actually still see some different hammer marks here. I was planning on leaving this one. I was experimenting with all different finishes. With this grinder, I can still swap over to different abrasives. Only problem is, this is a goofy setup I have here. I've got a 4.5 inch disc on a 7-inch grinder. It works, it's fine. But again, I'm using what I have. I wasn't gonna, again, this was full experimental. I didn't even know if this angle grinder would even work the way I wanted it to for this. So why make that huge investment if you don't know it's going to be absolutely work? But I'm going to give you guys dimensions of what I actually built here. I'm running. Let's get stretched out. From my joint to my grinder, I have about 28 inches. And this is a pretty good rod. The longer the rod is, the less radius you have and the more straight beveling you can do. You could adjust this thing, you could raise this up or down. Now, what I was afraid of is, what if I raise this up or down? Obviously, that's a radius traveling away from me. If I raise that thing, I'm now going to be further away, just because, okay, I think you guys get that. What I did figure out was, in order to keep my center of my disc where I want it to, because if I raise that, it's going to choke up on me. I figured we could just pivot this arm around. Easily adjustable right there. Guys, thank you very much for watching. If this was helpful, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I appreciate all your positive comments. If you guys got any ideas, shoot me up. I'm still in the middle of making this thing, so this is actually in the work in progress. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.